ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਆਫਟਰ ਦੈਟ ਸ਼ੋਰਟ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਅੰਕਲ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅੱਜ 2 ਪ੍ਰਾਹੁਣੇ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ। ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਹੁਣੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ। So we mentioned mental health. So this is such a big problem currently. You probably see all over the media and social media as well. So what is mental health? And especially amongst children as well, because I know it's half term, lots of children are off and at home. This is why I really wanted our next guest to come on during this week, knowing that it's half term. So in the studio, you will recognise the first face, Pav Kandola Johal from the Heera Foundation. As well as that, we've also got Dr. Lalita. So firstly, very good morning to you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know you got stuck in a bit of traffic. It can happen, but thank you for coming in this morning. So firstly, before we start talking about mental health, just for anybody that's seen you guys for the first time, if you can just tell us, Benji, a little bit about the Heera Foundation and how it came to be.
Okay, so my name is Bhavan Kandola Johal. I'm the chair of the Heera Foundation, and we set this up, I'd say, January 2018. Unfortunately, we've had tragic losses due to mental health issues, and as a family and our set of friends, what we do want to do is to actually make that difference. So we believe that everyone is a Heera.
Yeah.
You know, Heera, there's a Heera, and they're unique and priceless. We really are true believers of that. So what we want to do is we want to share our message on mental health. We want people to talk about, whatever depression, whatever you feel, it's really important to let it out. So the most simplistic thing we've done is we've created mental health support cards, which have now got key information on of existing organisations. So anybody can tune into this if you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling low, because these are those signposts, and it's really important that we can get that out there. So we're not saying ਅਸੀਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ expert ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ research ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, and we've got this now really readily available for so many different people to access. I think half of it is we believed, our objectives are raising awareness of mental health and mindfulness, making people understand, that we are all important. Self-care is key. Heera out there, let's protect the minds of those diamonds, no matter what age you are. So that is where we're coming from.
Okay.
So thank you.
Moving over to Dr. Lalita. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you specialise in as well.
So I'm a psychologist, and my main focus is working with children, families, and adults, and it's around attachment and trauma. And I support the work of Heera Foundation. I think that we need to understand more about what to do if there is someone struggling with mental health.
Definitely. So I think this is the key issue. Uncle just ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ what is mental health? ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਡੀ community ਨੂੰ ਵੀ understand ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ how would you define it? What is it?
So from my perspective, it's when your mental health or your thoughts, your feelings are having an influence on your everyday life. So it's stopping you from living your everyday lifestyle.
Okay.
So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਈ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ?
Well, basically ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਈ ਆ, ਹਨਾ, family ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2 ਵਾਰੀ ਚਾਂਸ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਕਿ we've lost people close to us. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ other people suffer like we are. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਹਨਾ, we're happy because we are this kind of family. We are being brave. ਪਰ ਡੀਪ ਡਾਊਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਰਦ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਆ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਰਦ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈਪਨ ਹੋਇਆ, ਵਾਪਰਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਭਲਾ ਹੋਵੇ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਇਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ, ਕਿ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਇਹ ਸਫਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਕਰੇ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਰਡ ਇਹ ਬਣਾਏ ਆ, ਹਨਾ, ਇਹਦਾ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਆ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ, ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਲਚਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ। ਸੋ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਖਾਂਦਾ ਪੀਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਜ ਨਾਲ, ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਸੌਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਲੀਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, those kind of issues ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ, it could be part of this. We're constantly worried. ਅਸੀਂ ਟ੍ਰੈਡਮਿਲ ਤੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ, ਹਨਾ, ਇਸ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਲਾਈਫ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠਣਾ, ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਭਣਾ, ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਘਰ ਆਉਣਾ, ਰੋਟੀ ਟੁੱਕ ਕਰਨੀ, ਹੈ ਤੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਇੰਨੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਬਣਾਈ ਆ, ਪਰ ਹੋਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ?
That's the thing, because has this always been an issue, or is it just that we're more aware of it and it's been highlighted more? Because like I said, I was having a conversation with my family and they said, you know, ਸਾਡੇ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਚ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ, ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੋਨ ਆ, ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਫੋਨ ਆ, ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ. So would you say that there's been a steady increase, or are we just more aware of it, or are we more accepting of it?
I think it's more out in the open now. You know, you've got heads together, you know, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨੋ ਪੋਤੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ, you know, heads together, workplaces ਨੂੰ ਜਾਓ, you know, raise awareness of mental health and so on. So it's big.
Okay.
ਹਨਾ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ suicide you know, ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ, I don't think they've been recorded, no one knows. In our culture, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਇਹ ਹੋਇਆ, heart attack ਹੋ ਗਿਆ and so on. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ, you know, we don't take it on board. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ our generation, we're like, okay, we've got to do something about it. You know, ਮੇਰਾ background ਜਿੱਦਾਂ education ਆ, I'm assistant head teacher at National School in Rugby. ਉੱਥੇ, you know, my mission now is, it's really important ਕਿ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਆ. You know, ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗੇ, actually it's important to speak. Not just those children that are at, you know, CAMS level and so on, but all children. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਆ. ਮੇਰਾ ਹੁਣ ਨਿੱਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ GCSE ਕਰਦਾ ਆ. ਹਨਾ, GCSE 16-18 ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਉਹਨੇ ਹਜੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ. You know, and that's a lot. You know, as families, as parents, we need to be saying, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ best ਕਰੋ. And that's fine. ਜਿਹੜਾ pathway ਆ, it's okay, isn't it?
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਜ਼ ਆ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ, ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਟਲ ਹੈਲਥ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ?
I think we need to.
ਕਿਉਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ?
Yeah, problem ਕਿਉਂ? You know what, we need to learn how to deal. You know, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹ feeling ਆ, oh, I can't cope with this, I can't do this, can't do that. Everyone has those feelings.
I'll stop you there. You might have seen a picture, because this last week, you know, the picture that we've actually got it saved, if the gallery can bring that up on the screen. So there's an image of 226 pairs of shoes on the steps. So that's 226 children that committed suicide in 2017. Now, I can't even begin to imagine what a child must be going
and what
through.
that trauma
think,
is.
You know what? I'm better off. You know, my family are better off without me to go and take their own life. So, you know, like Uncle G said, like what could be the causes?
And it does come down to them emotions. It's the emotions that people can't deal with. So I do a lot of assessments with children that have tried to end their lives. And when you're working with them and you're trying to understand what's happened and what the reasonings are behind it, it often it's because of the emotion they can't deal with. So they feel a sense of rejection or a sense of not feeling connected with someone, and because of that sense of feeling a loss or a rejection, they're just like, I can't deal with it. So that's where it's like, it's for them, it's I need to take my life. That's the only other option there for them.
And also, would you say it's all about suppressing those feelings? You know, within our culture, within society, not just talking about the Punjabi culture here, you know, there's this expectation, this is me, this is who I am, and this is how I need to behave. You know, but really, you know, at the end of the day, our young people, whatever age and so on, you know, we need to be feeling happy and content.
Feeling comfortable in your own skin.
Feeling comfortable. You know, and being happy with the lot that we have. You know, it's very difficult breaking that down, you know, that barrier, you know.
Like it's half term, so there might be some children listening to us.
Well, I hope they are.
They might not necessarily know that they're actually going through mental health. Or so what advice would you have for them? Like, you know, how can you tell that you know that there's something wrong and you need to seek help?
I think it's just really important having someone to speak to, whether it's an older brother or sister, whether it's, you know, an auntie or uncle, you know, it's just so important, isn't it? And then family members, just to keep an eye on, you know, that actually that behaviour is not quite right today. And we know gussa kyun charea, you know, and getting to the bottom of it, and so on. You know, and as I did that on purpose, as in, you know, boys need to cry as well. You know, we need to do that rather than, you know, we're bahadur, we're this, we don't cry. It's so important to cry. You know, and let out that emotion. I mean, when my kids cry, oh, you know, what's the natural instinct? No, it's okay, you're going to be fine, Tigya. You know, but actually, our job is now, Turunda kyun? Problem ki hai? Tere man ch ki hai? You know, it's no time now to suppress those feelings. It's time to, let's talk about it. Are you okay for me to move on to this?
Yes.
So as, in the Heera Foundation, we are creating lots of things for children.
Okay.
You know, and this is one that is all about thoughts and feelings. We've called it My Thought Jar.
Okay.
Right, lots of little activities. This is just one example.
Okay.
But basically, you know, we're trying to tell children that they are so important. And my thought jar. So it's saying things like, you are loved, you are important, you are amazing, you are unique, you are special and precious. And the point is that you spend a bit of time, you know, fill in our post-its. I feel sad today, I feel unhappy today, or whatever it is to talk.
It's encouraging.
That's it. And then as part of that, we've got this card here with different people, different emotions. And you could say, this is how I feel, just to get that conversation going. So going back to say what we want to do, you know, the Heera Foundation, we want to get into schools, we want to actually, we started bidding for funding and so on as well, and we want to take this further. You know, I think we've got this passion and drive, you know, we want to take the experts with us, whether, you know, you know, we want to get into the schools. I was talking to an expert the other day and I said, you know what, we need to build the resilience in our children. Tusi puche se problem ki hai, you know, problem ta everyday hunde hai, hana nyanya nu, you know, adult nu, you know, but what are the coping mechanisms? That's the thing.
And we don't
you know?
want it to get to crisis point either,
No.
where it does end up in CAMS. We want it to be a prevention service.
This is what we're saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what sort of support or any help is available for families, for parents, because they might not necessarily know what to do, where to go. You know, we've mentioned that there's loads of organisations that they can turn to, but you know, sometimes parents might think, you know what, let's just go to the doctor. Is it something that they can go to the GP to talk about?
Yeah.
First point of contact.
First port of call, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and also, you know, it does go back to our culture here. You know, we shy away from help. Sorry to be so direct.
Yeah.
You know, but counselling, I can put my hand on my heart that I've been to counselling. You know, and it's a big thing. ਜਦੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨੰਬਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਫੋਨ ਮੈਨੂੰ 2 ਸਾਲ, you know, it took me 2 years, you know, after the first kind of crisis that hit our family, you know, because I think, well, I need to make sure that my children are okay, that they get the bereavement support that they need and so on. But opening up to a stranger, we're talking about this again, weren't we?
Before,
That
it's
is
also,
good.
Like you mentioned, like, you know, it's because you can't see the illness, or you can't necessarily, you know, like I said, you might be someone that's just having a down day. That they think, and they don't necessarily think it's a problem because you can't see it. You don't necessarily question it, and I think this is where the big struggle is, and especially within our community. They just think, you know what, holiday chal jande hain, bachche nu holiday le jande hain.
It's avoiding it. It's avoiding the actual issue. It's like if you're crying, for instance, like Bhavan said, it's like, okay, don't cry, everything's okay. But actually, you're crying for a reason. You're communicating something, and it's trying to understand what is it the behaviour is trying to communicate. And if you feel like it's something out of your league, again, go to the GP, speak to the GP.
They're the experts, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and also, I mean, you said it's invisible, right? Okay, I hurt my hand, can't remember, about 6-7 weeks ago or something now, and I've broken my bone there. Right, had the cast on, everyone's like, oh, Bhavan, ki hoya? There's sat lagi hai, kinna chir lagna fix honu and everything. You can see it, right? But no one's asking me how I'm feeling deep down because you can't see that. And I think that's a really important message to take away today, isn't it? You know, put your and ask again.
ਇਹਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ ਉਹ ਸੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂਟਲੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆ ਗਈ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ
just so many, you know, so there's so much support there, isn't there?
There is a lot of support. So
Therapy
you don't have to have, it doesn't have to be talking therapy. It can be through play therapy. It can be through writing, drawing. There's so many different ways of communicating with someone.
Do you think social media is having a big impact on children's mental health or in even adults' mental health? Do you think it's something that's causing this as well?
I think there is we were just talking
There's an
about
element,
this,
isn't there?
Yeah, there is an element, but then also it can be a good thing as well. I don't want to completely strike it off because there's really positive apps as well out there. And again, people can get support from it. They feel a sense of belonging. But at the same time, it does, during social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, there's all these different apps where people, again, they have that
and
sense
also it comes down to like perception, illusions. It does, doesn't it, that you're trying to build yourself up. But why are we doing that? when at the end of the day we're all the same. We're human beings,
Of course.
you know, and keep it simple. And that's something we need to learn to do, you know, strip it down. And then, you know, obviously our objective is mindfulness, live in the present, you know, go for a walk, you know, at one with nature. You know, you know, connect with the egg. And that's exactly what we need to be doing, you know, constantly. And it just strips it down to the bare basics.
Yeah, no doubt.
ਅੱਛਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਔਰ ਉਹ 1 ਮਹੀਨਾ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਪਲੇਸ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਤਾਵਰਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਪਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੋਇਆ ਡਿਪਰੈਸ਼ਨ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਓਪਨਲੀ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਖੇਡਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਨੱਠਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਵੈਦਰ ਵੀ ਆ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਅਸਰ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੌਲੀਡੇ ਲਿਜਾਇਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ
I think it's environment, isn't it? Environments are so important. It comes down to the nature-nurture debate, doesn't it? You know, nature, the veg, we have got these mental health issues. We've all got them, you know, but it's going back to that coping.
ਮੈਂ ਜੋੜ ਦਵਾਂ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੌਗੀ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਡੌਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਓਪਨਲੀ ਛੱਡ ਦਈਏ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਓਪਨਲੀ ਛੱਡ ਦਈਏ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੰਨਾ ਡੇਂਜਰਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦਾ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੰਨ ਲਈਏ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੰਨ ਕੇ
It's
ਰੱਖੀਏ
restriction, isn't it?
ਬਸ ਉਹ ਇੰਨਾ
Very good,
very good analogy.
ਚਿੜਚਿੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਬਣ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਡੌਗੀ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹਰ ਵਕਤ ਅੰਦਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਵਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ
balance ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ it's a balance
ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ
and it's very difficult as a parent getting that balance. You know, Nyane and we push boundaries constantly, don't we? Hannah, so it's getting that right.
As well, because we're so busy, sorry, a little bit like what busy hundi hai kar te jana karan ke khana pina banana, and they don't necessarily spend that time. You know, my nephews are 5 years old, and you know, I'll see them sitting on the sofa watching videos on YouTube, and it's already making me worried, thinking they're only 5. Yet we're all just sitting on our phones, we're not communicating, and you know, I feel like parents need to take that time, like Uncle you said, and spend that time with their children.
It's very difficult, but it's important, isn't it? And then the other thing, sorry to go back to the foundation, but all these activities that we've created, you know, whether it's colouring in your T-shirt, whether it's, you know, things that we've got together for certain events throughout the year, it's all about sit with your child, you know, create. And the latest thing that I'm really excited about is something we've got for Easter, which is all about sewing. You know, and things like that. So you're sitting and making and creating things. You know, as part of what we're doing as well, we've created a Doksok forum. So we can talk about grief, we can talk about bereavement, we can talk about, you know, and that's going to start at Smeti Godora soon. You know, we're really quite lucky and quite looking forward to it as well. You know, ke aapa hai na gallan kariye. You know, whatever it is, because there are solutions, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, but if we're working as on it as a community, then together we can actually make that difference, you know, and protect the minds.
ਤੁਸੀਂ Coventry ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸਮੈਤਿਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ especially the old generation what sort of feedback are you getting from them and when you talk to them about mental health do you feel like you know you're sort of you know are they understanding what it is and
it's just been overwhelming, just really, really overwhelming. You know, Dr. Jyoti Johal, she actually wrote on a report, because our culture, we haven't got a word for depression. You know, the phrases my highlight get there, and it says, you know, mera dimag te boj ya, you know, mera dil par aaya. You know, we've never talked about it. So going back to these Gurdwara, you know, people, all ages, sangat, come up to us, right, and we're just listeners. We're listening, and some people actually disclose, and you can see, you know, them almost letting go of all this pressure they felt when they've lost people due to suicide. They're worried about their son, daughter, you know, or their niece or nephew, whatever it may be, you know, and for them to actually have that opportunity to talk and for us to listen, I think that's absolutely vital.
I was going to say, and if you can then, you know, signpost them on to people, professionals that can help them, that's absolutely fantastic.
And also, you know, from experience myself, I know how hard it is. Someone could give me a card and I'd be like, oh, don't know. It'd take me a while. But, you know, exactly.
Speak to someone new, I don't want to talk about everything.
And if they want us to help, you know what, we'll help make those phone calls. You know, because I know how difficult it is. Because you get the card and you think, okay, but you know, but making that first step, and the people who've rang me directly and said, oh, you know, and so on, I always say thank you. Thank you for having, you know, that bravery to actually pick up the phone to ring me, and please don't lose it now.
That's what I'm saying. People will contact me now that they've met, you know, sort of know the Heera Foundation, and they'll ask me for support, and I do signpost them towards you because I think, you know what, you'll be able to provide that support. So it's fantastic the work that you're doing, and I hope you guys continue to carry on. I'm sure you will see the Heera Foundation on the Seek channel in the future as well. Anybody watching that wants to reach out to you, I believe you are on all the social media. So what's the best way for them to contact you?
Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as well now. But, you know, if you need to ring, it's my number that's on there, please do. I think I just need to sum up one idea here. You know, the last thing we want is to have families and people in the same situation that we have been in. So if you are feeling really low, personally, that person, you know, it has to come from you. We need you to actually access the support that's available. You know, only then can we actually make that change. And if you're on the other side of it, you know, ask again, how's your hand, or how are you feeling? You know, you can see that, but you can't see what's within. So ask, say hello, what's happening, smile, obviously, is so important, and build that trust, and ask again. It's time we do that.
You're a head teacher, deputy head teacher at school as well. Like I said,
I think I've been promoted.
It's half term, and there's children watching as well. What would you say to any young children that are watching you that might be a little bit confused, they don't know how they're feeling, or
just let it out. I think that's the thing, isn't
and
it?
Keep a journal, write down how your day's been, just have some reflecting moments in the evenings, and remember it's okay not to be okay. That's the main message as well. It's okay not to be okay.
Fantastic.
ਤੋ ਇਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ? ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆ ਗਈ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਆ, ਮਾਂ ਬਾਪ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਚੁੱਪ ਜਿਹਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਦਾ ਹੈਡ ਟੀਚਰ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ NHS ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਐਸਾ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਫਸਟੇਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਸਪੈਕਟਰੇਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ, ਹੁਣ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਖੋ ਕਿ ਵੈਲ-ਬੀਇੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ, ਇਟ ਨੀਡਸ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਪਾਰਟ ਆਫ that process. है ना, तो मेरे स्कूल दे विच ते हुण जिद्दां अकैडमी ट्रस्ट आ, हुण जदों मैं वापस जाना आ, मैं कहना आ आह मेरा स्कैड्यूल आ, आह मेरा स्ट्रैटेजी है ना, and it's really important, well-being centres, कि you know, it's not the handful of kids that are suffering, they want to come support you. What about all those kids that are crying because their year 11 exams, their year 10 exams? You know, जदों इदां नियाणे मेरे कोल आउंदे आ, फिर मैं कहूँगी, you know, मैं कहंदी हुंदी आ, okay, let's put things in perspective, it's only an exam. I hope I don't get the sack because of that, because it's all about outcomes as well. But yeah, you know, outcomes are good. You know, we want our children to succeed. I want all my children in school to succeed. You know, but at the end of the day, you have to be okay.
And your well-being is more important than the
ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ, ਜਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਲਾ ਲਈਏ, ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ, ਜਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੀ ਪਰਸੈਂਟੇਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੜੀ ਹਾਈ ਆ, ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ 1-2 ਬੱਚੇ 'ਚ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਇਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਆ?
Do you think that is the case?
I'm not sure. You know, I don't know the awareness there really. How about yourself?
It's the same. I'm not sure about
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ। ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਔਰ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ, ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਨਾ, ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ, ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਡਰ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੋਈ ਕੀਤਾ, ਆਹ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੇ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਝਿੜਕੇਗਾ। ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ। ਤੇ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਆ?
I think it's different in all places.
Every culture is different, all the norms are different.
You know, my experience, I'd love to have a better experience of how the education system is in India, in Punjab. You know, I'd love to go and teach out there. You know, but you know, we can only comment on what we know. You know, but also there is a huge resistance. Schoolan de vich resistance है कि नहीं ऐसे सारा कुछ संभे है, ठीक है. तो मैं हुन, you know, at the Heera Foundation, we want to actually get into schools. You know, and that's the block that we've actually got at the moment. ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਈਏ ਅੰਦਰ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ, ਐਕਸਪਰਟਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਜਾਈਏ, you know, mental health champions ਬਣਾਈਏ, mindfulness, you know, meditation ਕਰੀਏ, you know, Simran, it's so important. You know, even 5 minutes of sitting, doing nothing, You know, that can actually really pick you up, can't it?
So in the
दुनिया
last,
नहीं में
because
दस
time
खाइए.
is,
हाँ जी, sorry, uncle जी.
what do you think too about the 6th channel?
Well, sorry, I keep talking. Wait, I think this is my second or third. I think I was a presenter at the last one.
I was going to say, you're a face that everybody recognises on the channel now. So
Yeah, I've even held the mic and led the session in Coventry. You know what, we are really kind of appreciative of your support. You know, I mean, we laugh and joke, don't get me wrong, but deep down, you know, we're very sad. You know, it's happened to us. You know, I can't explain that to anybody.
For the fact that you've gone through something so bad, but yet you're still wanting to help other people, just shows what sort of person you are. So, you know, I hope Heera Foundation continues to grow and you know, reach out to more people. Dr. Lita, just coming over to you, any final messages or words you would have for our viewers that are watching, especially any children?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say again, it's okay not to be okay, and just to reach out if something doesn't feel right for you, and even you don't understand what it is, and you don't understand what doesn't feel right, still reach out to your parents, reach out to teachers, reach out to ask your parents if they can take you to the GP, and you can sit and discuss with them as well, because sometimes you don't know what's going on, and that's okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Okay.
So, ਪਿਆਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੀਰਾ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, they're all over
ਤੇ
social media.
ਕੰਦੋਲਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਅਗਰ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਲਾਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਪਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਰਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਬੜੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, definitely.
So,
ਹੁਣ
ਹੁਣ
ਅਸੀਂ
ਆਪਾਂ
ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ
ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈ ਲਈਏ
ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਵੀ I think ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਜਾਣੇ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਹ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ
Definitely, yes. So do check out the Heera Foundation. Like I said, they are over on all social media with their Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Do reach out to them. So, honestly, Lenya, should DJ break. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.